2016, 2017 is happening. We're not getting away from that. And we're going to predict. This is useless what we're about to do, but we are going to try and predict.
Oh yeah, so stick around and watch the rest of the video.
So stick around.
Well, we did this last year and we got how close?
Very second, I think we finished.
Yeah, I've got Chris, Flav, and Sam who were there last year. I wasn't there last year, so
I
should help this out. This part of it, we're going to do the bottom. We're going to go from 13 down to 20. Who's finishing bottom for you, Chris?
Hull.
For me,
This is probably the easiest thing of the whole 20, isn't it?
You made it quite easy in that we don't actually have to move much because you've already put the bottom two
I'm going
at the bottom.
Hull. To be honest
All right,
with you,
why?
They've got like 12 players, I've been told.
Yeah. They've got 12 players. They've got a chairman who wants out, understandably, if you're him because of the abuse he gets, and the fans obviously have wanted him out for a long time as well.
But the Tigers,
they've got to fight the raw. I mean, the likelihood is they'll be able to bring in players quickly enough to sort of satisfy the first 18, but they won't be good enough because there's no plan in place.
The reason it is 12 players because senior players for them, they've got about 5 or 6 out for 4 or 5 months, so that just adds to the woes of it.
I'm a little bit worried about Spurs' lack of signings, but imagine being a Hull fan right now. It's not even funny. I mean, it is funny because they're a rival, fuck them, but do you know what I mean?
It's got to be really disappointing when you win the playoffs like that and you think, all right, this could be a new dawn, and it's not going to be.
No,
the only question is how many points or how few points they're going to get. I think we can all agree that they're going to finish 20th.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on, Flav. Who's going to finish second bottom?
Oh, cheers. I think Burnley.
They are stronger than they were last time they came up, and they've got rid of quite a few of their more experienced players. But the league is so much stronger, and they haven't spent a huge amount of money, and that's going to make it very difficult for them. They've got a good back four that was young 2 years ago. Players like Keane, Ben Mee is a really good player. They've got a good back four, and with Andre Gray, they've got a chance there.
I think
we kind of said that 2 years ago with Danny Ings.
If you're looking at like Bournemouth last year, everything that happened to them at the start of the season, they should have gone down. But Eddie Howe sort of masterminding them staying up. And if you're looking at Burnley, one of their best assets is probably Sean Dyche. He's actually a good manager.
Yeah.
So if they do stay up, it's probably going to be a lot because of him.
But aren't Bournemouth and Watford perhaps examples to follow? It's kind of a scattergun approach to buying players. Some will come off.
The thing you've got to say about Bournemouth last year, though, is that they had a lot of players that got injured, but they did spend a lot of money.
They spent
money in January as well.
Exactly.
£100 million just come into their squad, and it's time to spend or go down.
I'm going to put a shout out there for this team.
I'm going to join you with this team.
Okay.
I'm going to say there.
Crystal Palace.
They're in and around down that.
Crystal Palace are bizarre because last year, I think 2015, that calendar year, they had sort of 60 odd points. There was only 5 teams that had more points than them, but then it all went wrong. And yes, they got to that FA Cup final, but they only had 2 wins after January, after December, I think it was. So, well, how good or how bad are this lot? You're saying they're bad, I guess.
Well, they've signed Tompkins for 11 million, which I'm not really inspired by. I think Townsend could be a good signing. They've still got Kabay.
I guarantee you Townsend will be a good
Balassi.
signing.
So they have got players.
They need a striker though.
Yeah,
they need Christian Benteke.
For a while.
Crystal Palace's weaknesses, as was last season, this year is up front. We still haven't got a guaranteed goal scorer, someone that can smash the goals in, get 15, 20 goals a season, which every team in the Premier League needs. We've been linked with Berahino and Benteke this summer. So far, nothing has come off, but there's still a few weeks left of the transfer window, and Alan Pardew seems confident someone will come in. If we end up with Connor Wickham and Fraser Campbell as our strikers, I suspect Palace might struggle to kick on this season.
If you look at Palace's quality players that they do have, Townsend is one, Balassi, Zaha,
Kabay,
yeah, absolutely. If they do get that striker, I don't think we'll be seeing them anywhere near 14, 15, 16. I can see them comfortably mid-table.
Watford.
I just think they've been found out, mate. I think they really struggled at the end of last season. You know, Igalo and Deeney, yes, they've managed to fend off a few offers and stuff like that, but they weren't firing at the end of last season, and I think that their time in the Premier League is probably going to come to an end.
It came to an end when they sat their manager.
I think, yeah, because they had a very clear style, and a clear style that worked very well for Deeney and Igalo up front, but there was a lot of pressure on those guys to do well. They scored so many goals for them last season. And so if they don't fire like that, or if the new manager wants to play a different style, I agree. I think they're going to be right down there. I also think these guys could be right down there as well. They've lost They're three. I mean, they're not great strikers, but they've lost 3 strikers in Eder, Gomez, and Paloski. I think that's how you say it.
Are they not just signed Llorente?
They're signing Llorente, but Llorente's stats aren't that great. He only scored 7 goals last year. I think he's a bigger name than he is a talent. I think it's a lot of pressure on one guy who isn't. I wouldn't say is prolific. In that 3 of fighting out for that last place, is Sunderland one of them?
Moyes.
No.
Moyes. What's Moyes going to do? You know him
15th.
well.
Oh, I love him. David Moyes, let's talk about him. No, I just think...
He's a football genius.
I think in terms of a manager, that's the perfect sort of manager for Sunderland's situation. Let's be honest, they should have been relegated in the last 2 seasons, but they've somehow snuck it and have got away from it.
Have they overperformed in the last two seasons?
No.
By staying up?
Yeah, potentially.
Because how bad they're
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, last season was amazing that they managed to stay up at the end of the day. When you look at a team like Newcastle going down, Sunderland managed to turn it round. I don't know, Jermaine Defoe had a really great season last season. Is he going to be able to perform to that level again this season? I'm not too sure. Moyes guarantees, yeah, in a couple of years' time, he'll be getting 60, 65 points with that side.
Yeah?
Really?
He's a good manager and he knows how to dog out results. He did
absolutely.
do
That
a great job at Everton.
That is a Moyes type job, the one that he's done for so well at Everton for such a long time. And I think he will turn out. You know how when Stoke came up, everyone was like, Stoke, you're going to go back down, but Pulis got them into the top 10 and they stayed there. Moyes could do that at Sunderland.
Allardyce laid down some foundations. He is a good manager and he'll do enough to keep them up. They'll finish 16th, 15th, I think.
16th, 15th. Okay. Right, we're going to have to go to a vote, I think. But these are the 3, right? So which one out of these 3 is going to finish bottom 3?
I think Boro might struggle.
Really? Oh, God, here we go. Where's Boro? You think Boro are going to struggle? I can't see Boro struggling at all. In fact, I think they'll be a surprise this year.
Really?
I think they've got a really, really strong defence. In the Championship, I know it's a different league, but they've been so strong in defence. George Friend is a really good left-back, definitely a Premier League left-back. And in terms of people that they've brought in.
They've got Victor Fisher in, he's a cracking player. Who else have they got?
Negredo's come in.
They've got 2 goalkeepers.
And they also spent a lot of money in January. People forget that. Jordan Rhodes has been a Premier League striker, but just not great in the Premier League. Exactly. So I actually think you're completely wrong, Flav.
All right.
So shut up.
All right.
But let's get to this then.
Okay.
Who are you voting for? Swansea in the bottom 3? I think they're going to go down.
Looks like you're on your own there, mate.
Okay. Watford.
I mean, I said it.
If I'm choosing out of those 3,
If it's either those 3, yeah.
it's Watford.
This is why it's so hard.
And
This is why democracy
who are you
sucks.
going to go for, Flav?
Because I'm going to contradict myself, I think.
Okay, do it.
I'm going to say Swansea.
What are you going to say?
Swansea.
Swansea. So Sunderland are going to be above these 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Watford and Swansea now. I'll tell you what,
You'll
to
concede.
move it along, I'll concede. Watford are going down.
Very
Sorry,
big.
Watford fans, you'll be fuming with that. So let's finish off the last 3 places.
I don't think West Brom are going to do that well this season.
Okay.
I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Pulis is the favourite to be sacked first this season.
Is he
Is
now?
he now?
I think if they want to stay up, they need to keep him, regardless of the football he plays. And if he does stay, they'll stay up. If they sack him after 5-6 games, then God knows what happens to West Brom. They could finish bottom.
How bad can it get in terms of style for them to actually sack him? Last year there were 23 games where a team didn't get a shot on target. West Brom supplied 7 of those, so it was boring for them. But he does do what it says on the tin.
He gets results at the end of the
Keeps
day. It depends on their ambitions of football club, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If they're happy to just continue to just be a part of the Premier League, they'll keep Pulis. If they actually harbour ambitions of getting up and around here and maybe establishing themselves, and in a couple of years' time maybe trying to have a little go at Europe or something, they have to get rid of him. But they need the stability right now.
I'd say West Brom. I'd say West Brom 16th, Sunderland 15th.
Oh, really, even worse.
Yeah, but you don't have to change it. That's fine. I'm fine with
Okay.
it.
It's going to be Palace and West Brom.
I think Sunderland will finish above West Brom as well.
Okay, that's
All
2.
right.
I personally think Sunderland are going to finish higher than that. I think Sunderland.
All right.
right,
Move them up. Get them
Okay,
up.
right, Sunderland from nowhere have moved up today. Boring West Brom will survive, but they'll be boring. And Palace, 14th.
Again,
You can't figure out what they're going to do this season. So I think that's.
I think
actually quite a good
Sunderland are going
place
to
for
finish
them.
higher than Crystal Palace. No, I
So
genuinely do.
Yes, so do I.
Why
Get Sunderland out of the league.
Why don't we just This was only put in because somebody said they might get relegated. Nobody said they're going to finish dead low.
13th.
They've just taken this and gone, well,
But
Sunderland are there.
what's making you think? What's making you think that Sunderland are going to finish above any of those teams?
Moyes.
And you said yourself they overperformed last season by just staying up.
But Moyes is a better coach than what they had at the beginning of the season. He will have that team drilled. He will play shite football, which is absolutely fine with Sunderland. They'll finish above Crystal Palace. Pardew will be crying.
It's got to be Bournemouth, is it?
Boro.
not?
No way.
Boro.
Are you crazy? Eddie Howe's probably the best.
I'll put Boro below that.
One of the best, probably the best English coach in England.
Look, they've got to be happy. They held on to Eddie Howe. Obviously, he didn't go to England because they went for Sam Allardyce instead. They've got decent signings that they brought in. The players who were injured last year are now not injured. Last year they went for the experienced signings. This year they've got some young and exciting signings.
That's true. The transfers they brought in last season didn't work at all, but they did survive. This year, Jordan Ibe, is he going to light it up for them?
I don't know. £15 million, I think, is a good deal for both clubs, to be honest with you. Young player, it can be really exciting. The one thing for me with Jordan Ibe is, when he got the ball, he wasn't brave enough with the ball, you know, and I think sometimes he just needed to crack on and try and beat a man. And if Jordan Ibe is under a little bit less pressure at Bournemouth, I think he may be able to get back to what he was doing when he came through at Liverpool.
Do you think being maybe a bit more of a key man at a club might bring that out of him as well?
Yeah, I think so. You know,
I've
I've met him, right, and from just watching him and how he performed in these stuff that we were doing, and we did like dizzy penalties with him and all this type of stuff, he wanted to win every single one. And you get an idea of a mentality of a young player who was trying to prove himself to like the Phil Coutinho, Lazar Markovic and all that type of stuff. He wanted to win, he wanted to improve. I've seen him when he's sat on the bench, he's proper looking at the game, he is trying very hard, and it could be the platform for him to go and prove himself.
One thing I would say about Bournemouth is only Villa conceded more goals than them last year, and they have not strengthened there yet.
They've got Brad Smith at left back, mate.
Is that really
strengthening?
strengthening? Is that really strengthening?
Do you know what? Defensively, I don't think he's that good, but going forwards, he'll offer them something. His left boot is incredible. When you're talking about whipping crosses in and stuff like that, there'll be a better attacking side for having Brad Smith at left back.
And Eddie Howe, I've got to say it, I've got to keep saying it because no one reacted the first time. He's a quality manager.
Whoa!
He's a quality manager. He knows how to get the best out of his teams, and ultimately scoring goals in the Premiership results in
Where are they going to finish?
They're going to finish first. Well, I would even.
Where are we doing to on this
video?
video?
We're only going to 13th. We're only going to finish. So who's finishing 13th? There you go.
And they're going to finish above them.
So there's 13th to 20th. Let us know what you think about that. Where have we got it wrong? Because I'm sure we have. Let us know in the comments below. How well do you think Bournemouth are going to do? You can find out in the next video because they've made it to at least 12th.
Well done, Bournemouth.
In the next video, we're going to go from 6th to 12th. So you've got to wait for the top 4. 6th to 12th.
What
And you're
about 5th?
Nah, Fifth's got his own video.
Fifth's good. Oh,
so Fifth's Man United then?
5th is in the top 4.
Bit of suspense.
Bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably not. Watch the other videos and you'll find out.